Welcome to Promise of the Volcano, the first major gameplay add-on DLC for all 117 Pax Romana Live Center on the go. About 2 weeks before the release, the DLC will be released on Thursday, April 23rd at 12 noon. It will cost about €12. You can buy it solo or as part of the so-called Year 1 Pass. It costs €35 at the regular price and includes the other two DLCs that will be released in August and November 2026. You are live with Writing Bull. Attention, there's an ad sponsored by Ubisoft in the corner above. I already have a few hours to show this add-on. Until tomorrow morning, I think until 10 AM tomorrow. So we'll be streaming for a long time today, but not that long. So, I don't want to do a last-minute stream just to force something out, but we will be streaming together for many hours. A YouTube video series will also come out of this. And thanks to Ubisoft for the small fee I'm getting for doing this, which I would have done anyway. Because of course, Anno 117, Pax Romana is generating huge interest both with you and with me. You can start this DLC in two different ways, either by starting a new game, or by starting from an existing save file. And for the latter, there are also different ways to do it. This is the save file from our Anno Relaxed series. This is Promise of the Volcano. We're being asked if we want to activate it. And the alternative isn't just yes or no, but rather activate now or not now. That means even if we say no, we want to keep playing a bit longer, and at any later point, or say no, now I want to add the DLC, now it's activated. The major AI opponents can settle this island just like you can. But if you don't dawdle too much, you should actually get it. It's a peninsula all the way in the north of Latium. That means from the existing map, additional terrain will spawn right to the north. In the northwest and northeast, a total of 5 new islands will spawn, 3 large ones, and 2 somewhat smaller ones. And then, in addition, there's this huge peninsula that can't be sailed around because it's all the way in the north and it belongs to us. For multiplayer matches, in case anyone's wondering, I'll just load here first, activate this one here. Then we'll load the save game. In multiplayer matches, it's like usual. The multiplayer host, of course, decides how they want to handle everything. And of course, there's also the possibility the AI can also reach the island in other ways, as usual, for example, through conquest. That's possible. The core new content of the DLC is this huge new island in the north, but it's also coupled with new gameplay mechanics. There's a new god there, and he manifests himself. The god is called Vulcan or Volcanus, and he manifests himself as a huge volcano on the island. There's also new gameplay, which we'll look at soon, plus introductory missions. Cecilia, a new NPC character who lives on the island, will give them to us. That way we'll get a good introduction to the gameplay mechanics and learn about them all step by step. We set sail. And now you can see on the minimap that we've gained some additional territory here in the northwest, northeast and north. That wasn't the case before. And now we'll grab one of our little ships. A civilian ship like this one here, the Pax Romana. Or we take our main ship. No, they're all on the move. God knows where. Our flagship is currently on its way. With wood to which island? On the way to the main island with wood. Then I'd say let's take the flagship up. That's also the fastest way. We also have a few civilian ships, but they're a bit slower. Somewhere around here you'll find a link to Anno's official website. There you'll find more information about the game if you want. There's also an option to purchase it. As I said, both the base game and Season Pass 1 are all 3 gameplay. The cosmetic DLCs aren't gameplay, they're separate, just like in Anno 1800. We arrive in Bullenvig. We unload. Wood unload, divide. We take on board. What do you need again for settling new islands? We'll take 50 bricks on board. Instead of concrete, we could start making it ourselves or bring more wood. Just money. Well, then I'd say we'll take a lot of wood with us. Just like that. And now we're heading north and straight ahead right there.
And we're going with her?
And I would also take the next ship.
Since then, Righto.
Take it since it's just lying here unused. Send up some basic food supplies while you're at it. So you have a starting point with a few things. We can also bring the remaining building materials now. And we'll also give the ship the order to head north through the waves. But with our flagship itself, let's follow that. On the journey to the north, let's see where it leads us. So, a few bits of info. I'll quickly go over the DLC, Prophecies of Ash. That's the English title. In German, it's Verheißung des Vulkans. They are prophecies of the god, but also of the volcano itself. Because this volcano offers new gameplay mechanics. It exploded occasionally. Life on this island is divided into different phases. The phases sometimes have bonuses or penalties. And the bonuses stack over time, they increase. And that's always when this volcano erupts. Then for one thing, obsidian chunks appear. That's a new metal that exists now. Added by this DLC and spread across the island, you can collect it manually. Also, certain things are made more fertile. Above all, the soil is simply made more fertile. And that also increases over time. But of course, it also causes damage. Certain buildings are damaged randomly, which you then have to repair again. And besides, there's also a disadvantage for mining activities during this phase. So, there are 5 volcanic phases on this island: Calm, Prelude, Eruption, Volcanic Winter, and Bloom. Calm is simply the normal state. The volcano hasn't shown any activity. There are neither advantages nor disadvantages. During the Prelude, there are slight tremors. The first buildings suffer minor damage. There's rumbling, and you know something could happen. Then comes the actual eruption. All buildings that are in mountain slots, meaning in mountain slots that are extracting ores or anything else, stop their production during that phase. And stones rain down everywhere from the sky or from the volcano. These can damage buildings, but also units in this province, on this island. After that, the so-called volcanic winter follows. That means because there's so much ash in the air, the productivity of agriculture and fishing is initially impaired. You get less. But during that time, the so-called obsidian deposits, that is, this unique metal, this ore, on the island are replenished. And the population is in a bad mood. There are penalties to satisfaction, health, and of course also to fire protection. Then comes the 5th and final phase, which is the so-called bloom. That means rain sets in, a rain that cleanses. The ash is washed away, and after that, all the farms get a productivity boost.
You wander into the shadow of Ocasus, the mighty mountain. I am Cecilia von Sines, servant of Volcanus.
We met Cecilia because, look here, this is where we arrive.
To see the blooming wasteland, maybe it's time for our loneliness to come to an end.
That's where we arrive, Cecilia, the lady with the blindfold.
In ancient times, our ancestors asked the gods for advice before founding a city.
Wow, that thing is huge. With the volcano in the background. I'd recommend
to do this as well. Only you as Frator can change the course of things.
There are new technologies that we can research. Let's get started right away. A new tech tree just for promise of the volcano. Let's start down here with the obsidian mining. Then we'll continue with thermopolia. Porridge, more population. Then we'll continue with figurines. This is one of 2 new goods, 2 new commodities in the game. And then the cult of Volcanus, the god himself. Someone in chat asked if that's a settlement. They're ruins. Or that's Cecilia herself. That's Cecilia herself, right?
Fish rise to the surface, bloated and permeated by the foul smells of the depths. However, the water is cold.
Very pretty. Cecilia lives here. Let's take a closer look right away. Looks really cool. Very nicely done. Can you walk around there too?
Obsidian forms during volcanic eruptions. A violent origin, a limited resource.
So, do we want to settle here? There are 3 beaches on the island. There's a bigger beach. There's a smaller one. There's another one ahead on the left. There aren't any more. That means we're all the way to the left right now, so I'd say let's move into the middle. And settle up here toward the front. Oh, you can also move the trading post until there's something there, before someone snatches it away from us. We'll settle fast, then move the trading post. This little venture costs 5 million. Imagine what we could do. And then we move the trading post over to the bigger beach. And then there's the 3rd beach. It's pretty. Look, the 3rd one. That one is really pretty. No, isn't it working? It turned crooked. It looks a little silly. I'll try to straighten it. There's our trading post. Little boat, please go over there. Oh, look over here. There's still this little bay. How pretty does that look? Look. No. Cool, huh? Very, very pretty. Our little boat. Let's bring it over here, please. So that it discharges completely. Let's first admire the big island and calmly take in everything. I bet there are also ways here to explore the background in first-person perspective. Guys, there's a path up here. Look here. Look over here. That didn't work. But I bet this will work. We could try taking a walk here. Look, this is a path right here. Look. Finally, our legendary first-person walks can make a comeback. Look how red the ground is. That's because of the volcano. Heathland. Can we get up here? Yes. Wow, that's a long way. This is going to be an epically long walk. With the volcano as the destination. Turns out walking to a volcano can take a while. Wow, that thing is really huge. That's insane. I don't really have an opinion on whether you should be able to switch to Latin. I don't know. Someone in the chat asked if we can put the counter in the small bay with the arch. I think we can. Let's check the island methodically. We're starting on the far left. There's Cecilia. That's the big four land.
There are signs of public unrest.
Did you know we uncovered everything? The thing is, I think this is really bigger than Manola, right? And this is where it ends. Okay. The research is advancing quickly. We're moving too fast.
God of the forge and all those who honor the craft, those who follow it will be capable of great deeds.
Super cool. So where do we want to settle? We'll probably be settling a lot and often. That could turn into a monster city. There's so much space everywhere. So this is the largest continuous landmass that exists here at all, I think, on any of the islands. It's really gigantic, and here it continues upwards through several more floors. Amazing. In the chat, they said this is the biggest island in the Anno series. That's exactly how it was announced too. We'll expand it.
Yep.
Then we can deliver the remaining wood to them. With the wood, she'll fly down to this island here. By ship. Get new wood.
Festina Lente.
Yes, that'll work. Then we still have an unused ship. Or is that under this one is on the way? And with that one, we've also uncovered more islands. Let's go there now.
The citizens are dissatisfied with their lives and might rebel soon.
There. Now we're founding our city. We're starting by building a marketplace. First, we'll create a small coastal village. That's step one. We'll build the big city as a planned city later. Step by step. First, a village near the coast. And can we go a little further up?
Then let's go.
One street down. Then a tavern. Then small houses, please. One time. 2 times. 3 times. 4 times. Street. This way. Copy once. Good evening. Thanks for the subscription, Creative Flow. Thanks to Havoc for gifting a subscription to Neurofade. Thanks to Phoenix. Doc Phoenix, thanks for the 25th subscription. Greetings to you. The 5 go next to it. There's a street missing. Now I'd suggest we become more self-sufficient and begin wood production. But first, let's outline the boundary of the housing area here. Draw a few more roads. Let's see how long this works here. With a tavern and a marketplace. Okay, we can handle that. This way, we can place shops here. Now I'd like to go into wood production. It should become a bit self-sufficient. The ship has arrived in the meantime. It's unloading the most important goods. Please go back. Then over here. Sailors forward. Back over here. We'll set up the lumber industry here now. Yes, that can work. Yes, work, a warehouse. Thank you, Vendetta, for your 8th subscription. Shout out to Vendetta. So everything good with you? Let's get 2 lumberjacks. Sawmills, we can put wood anywhere these days. But we'll do it up here in the front. A sawmill. Two sawmills. What? Once. Twice. Three times. Sawmill goes down here. Roads. Road up here. They only did forestry here, thanks to Pascal. He gifted a subscription to Wapatool, thank you very much. We can also set this up more slowly here. Yes. That's where our little town is being built. Then we need to be supplied with sardines. Workforce 99, let's build a few more right next to it. A sardine hut to start with. One hut might even be enough already. Not quite. Maybe the second one next to it. And there's the target. Something's missing up here. Ah, okay, alright. Just like that. Right here. Then we need to supply oatmeal. We need an oat farm and a porridge stand. We'll put the oat farm up here in the front.
At Janus Burton's place, an important visitor.
The tavern and company go from the marketplace all the way up to here in the front. We can fit a few more houses here.
Didn't we forget something?
Wind it up once. A grain core next to it. A porridge stand next to it. The porridge stand has a population effect. That's new, right? I don't think it was like that before. I think they've changed it now. So you should place them centrally now too. We'll probably need ball 2. Then we'll put one here. And one up here in the front.
Oh, ich hab seit Tagen nicht gelitten. Es geht mir gut.
Once again, oats. Two oat fields. 2. That can look a bit nicer too. No way. It stays just like before. And 2 porridge stands. Now we still have to make sure that it works out with the warehouses. If we had a warehouse, I would put one in the middle as well.
A fire has broken out in your city.
And over here. That's how it was. Then both will be taken care of. And then also the simple buildings. Phew. Hemp, and for the spinning mill. A spinning mill, how far does it go? Does it cover everything here? Pretty much. Your Peleus filter next to it. That's not enough. Let's try it differently. Or we can stand them up, but it should work this way. Most of them have the travel effect. I think it was prettier. So. That works. Now we should have actually taken care of all the basic needs for everything. Yes. What was still left were the raw materials for the tunics. So a hemp farm. We'll farm down here. One road up. What kind of animals are these here? Horses. And a Bambi. Horses and a Bambi. They can run faster than horses. Wild horses are here. But they're pretty shy. And that's the view of our settlement. Where you still don't really notice much about the volcanoes. But we've received quests that introduce us to that. Let's accept them. Let's quickly address these things. We didn't build an attack park there.
The answer eludes us. And yet we have to choose our path.
Volcanus Venin, a first quest. The quests introduce us to the gameplay. You met Cecilia from Kynis. I think Kynis is the Latin word for ash. Self-proclaimed voice of the god Volcanus. She offers to predict your future. Do you let her speak? Or should some things be left unsaid? These quests and their subsequent objectives directly affect the behavior of the volcano. You have to complete them so that the volcano behaves like it does in free play again. How do you decide? We'll let them speak. A questline begins.
Du kennst also das Geheimnis des Obsidians. Bring me some of it so I can interpret the will of Volcanus Occasus. What do we have here?
That's what we have to do. A byproduct of mines and quarries. We need to research obsidian mining so we can get obsidian. The deposits are finite, but they are replenished with every volcanic eruption. With obsidian, you can hire Cecilia's unique resource specialists. So the specialists you can get in her quarters in her homeland. Or create new needs that can be researched. It's kind of like a board game and figurines.
Obsidian, the black glass. If you'll allow it, I'd like to hold it. To touch it with my own hands.
I did call obsidian a metal half an hour ago. Shame on me. We reject the defense pact.
We could discuss that over dinner.
Then a request from the Emperor. Deliver chalks and cloaks. Do we even have those? I'll pass for now. I'm not sure we have those.
You're showing once again how uncivilized you are.
So, and now we have to go into the quest log. Deliver a ton of obsidian here. For that, we first have to build quarries and mines. I'd like to use one of the ships we have to bring over some wood in advance to stockpile. And a few goods.
Befehl.
Sailors, forward!
We already have sardines upstairs. We can bring up some soap and sandals to have in reserve. There's also plenty of cheese and olive oil. Yes, to get things started. Once over here. Rat Scavenger, thanks so much for the 68th sub. Shout out to you.
Zeit fliegt und wir...
I'd also like to take some wood with me. With the slower of the two ships.
Könntest du denn benötigen?
Thank you, Rat Scavenger. I'm taking a lot of wood with me. Some weapons. Marble again. And concrete again. That's where it's going.
Time flies. And so are we.
Very nice. So, the island is called Kynis. And our settlement as well. Now we need to obtain obsidian. Let's first check if we've already unlocked it in the tech tree. Or if that's still to come. It's all still to come. We've unlocked the beginnings. We can't do the rest at the moment. This here, I think, this is the big research screen. We'll probably get that when we hover over another island. Here too, it's only the small one. Where is the big research screen? Does anyone have an idea how we can get back to the big research screen? The chat says to push through. Oh, not by scrolling, but with the arrow keys. It's just up here. That's what's going on up here. Those are the three, and that's the big one up in the middle. And I'll bet anything, with the new DLCs, there will be 2 more research trees. One here and one there. From the one still coming, I'll bet anything. That means we're looking for something. Then let's start brick production. Because that's also a pit. And there should be some obsidian there too, right? Pits. That means we're leveling up here to the 2nd stage. And then we'll build a 2nd village first. Well, up there. We'll copy this once. Let's rotate it once. And place it with some space for large production buildings. Blueprint mode. Let's do something else first and place the 2nd tier cult buildings. The sanctuary, so we can see how big it is. Right over here. And then put these in here. Put it right here, yeah. Or rotate it once and place it further up. Perfect. And the 2nd big building is the Grammaticus. It only brings knowledge. You can also leave it out. We have enough knowledge. You still need one of the 2. Only. And then we still need buildings for Garum. Garum has a negative effect on travel. We'll put that on the outside. A bakery also has a negative effect on fire safety. Sandal workshop. But you can already place it. So if we have the common people down here and the higher population up there, or we have a small village here, we could put it here. Yes, here. 1. Soap. People don't really like living next to that either. Sit, we can't manage that here. Maybe with the help of a specialist from Sicily. We don't have olive fertility here either. But thanks to Sicily, we could cheat. Then we'll plan for them later. Come over here. then continue up there. Then we'll lay out the streets.
Dank.
But up here, one down here. Then let's check how far the big buildings like the market and tavern reach. Not even close, so we would need both of them up there again. A tavern facing inward. Copy a market to the top. Draw a road here as well. Now level up buildings. Oh, we haven't placed the fire department and all that yet. We need to remember that too. City guards. 1 Vigilis. Ah, it's good that we still remembered that. I would say let's put them in. We can put some in here. Put one here. Then the city guards. A Mediki building, a hospital, nice and big. Check out the girl. A Coast Guard station. I'll draw the road here. And a custodian. And pipe control? Yes, with better roads that could work. Let's do it. Let's move to better roads. We should be able to afford them. Then let's upgrade the roads. Oh, that's not possible. Can't we upgrade the roads yet? Okay. We still need to clear space in the center. And preferably right here in the front. We'll take the legs. For example, it can come in here. City guard building. 1 custodian. Wow, they're huge. It'd be better to place them more centrally here. It'll be fine. Put one up here in front. You can place one here nicely. We can take those away. One City Watch, thanks to Red Scavenger, gave away 5 subs. Thank you very much, Red Scavenger. Thank you. Kosakov, Kartakus, Grizzly. Mr. Sears and Crazy Harry were all gifted. Many thanks to Red Scavenger. Also, thanks again for your own subscription. A big thank you for the 68. Should we move the city buildings over here too? Custodia and Vigilas. One Custodia. One street. Huh? One Vigilas. Is it in front of the W1? We can put smaller buildings next to it for wells, fire safety and the like. A latrine. A watchtower. A well. You can also put decorations there later. So that already looks pretty good, and now we can expand. These are the Midiki. First, more well houses. If there's no other way. A pact is being offered to us.
Trainingsplan.
We are not making the non-aggression pact. Great.
Zu hoch, zu weit?
Klasse. Alright, it's working. That is actually pretty good. And to get obsidian, do we need it up here? A pit. For that, we need the next population level. But let's just fill this up for now. And then we'll get down to business here.